Hi, I'm Bill Moore for EV World, and you're listening to The Future in Motion, where we talk about the world of electric vehicles. And my guest today is Sebastian Chrobok. Sebastian has a interesting career. He is now in Beijing, where it's a little before midnight there and midday here in Nebraska. We're going to talk about a company that he has co-founded called Evoke Electric Motorcycles, and that's a pretty hot area. Everybody from Honda to Harley Davidson wants to get into the game. So this is the first electric motorcycle I think that I'm aware of coming out of China. So this will, I think, be an interesting discussion. Sebastian, welcome.
Good evening, Bill, and happy to be here.
It's good to have you here. There'll be a little bit of voice lag because we're talking halfway around the world. So let's start off, first of all, how does someone who was the airport operations manager in Luton, England, end up in Beijing, China, building electric motorcycles?
Oh, wow, you're going back in my history quite a bit. Wow, that's a long story, to be honest. I've met the love of my life at that time, and in UK, and she's local Beijing, and I figured I give it a go to live on the other side of the world to make her life a bit better and make it more convenient for her to be closer to her family.
Right.
And ever since then, I've started one of my own companies. Then I worked for an education company as well. However, I personally come from automotive family. So my father is a mechanical technician.
Okay.
And since I was like 9 years old, I've been always helping him on cars and fixing stuff. I believe I was 11 when I assembled the first car under his guidance. Then I wanted to get back a little bit to do something with my hands, and I didn't have. Sorry, Bill, you there? Hello?
Yes, I'm here. Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And then I kind of, let's say, wanted to do something with my hands, and I believe it was a year ago when one of my another year, sorry, that's been a couple of years now. One of our friends started doing something. The founder, Nathan. And I heard a little bit bits and pieces going on over there, what he's been up to. But then I decided one day I'm just going to go over and have a look what he's doing. At that time, it was Nathan and Chris Ritter. Chris just joined Nathan, I believe, about a month or two before I joined them. They were sitting together and they were doing some small work. They were doing some small tests on electronics, and they were talking about the bikes. And when I saw what they were working on, it straight away hit me. I mean, it's something that I can really get into. It was a kind of a child's dream. You see, when I said I come from automotive background, is because I always wanted to ride bikes like every other kid on the block. You always want to have that big bike and show up over there in the club or some bar, maybe show your friends what you got. However, just like I would say 80% of people, they drop the bike on the first go and other things, and I hurt my leg at the time. I was like, I stick to cars. Yeah. But that dream stayed inside, and then when I realized I can regain my childhood dream, I straight away decided, you know what, these guys really need help over here. Mechanical stuff, that's my nature, and I can jump into this thing. BD is in my other nature. And then as I was working on the bikes, I believe most of the first bikes that came out from the factory, that was like 2-3 years ago when we were doing some small scale things because people were coming in and it's like, oh my God, this is really cool. Can you build me one? Can you build me one? This was before we even established the company.
Right.
It was like friends of a friend. And as we were doing this thing, it's just suddenly became more and more. And before we knew, we got people coming in offering us a larger space. They want to invest in us. Then suddenly we have even bigger companies coming in talking to us. And nowadays that's business already. So I suppose that's how my story kind of is over there.
Okay. So you didn't have a background necessarily in motorcycle design and development. It was more your automotive background and just wanting to get your hands dirty again, so to speak.
Exactly, exactly. That was my whole nature.
Okay, great. Well, look, you give a little bit about the story of the company. So you've got what, three partners that are with you involved in this? I mean, how big is Evoke at this point? And by the way, I love that name. That's a great name. Whoever came up with it, it's a great name.
Yeah, well, the name actually came from the English vocabulary, as we say, is like evoke, to wake up from within, just to bring it out from within, and we think about that all electrification, etc. Evoke sounds like evoke your electrification, evoke the future kind of thing.
Right.
That's what we came up with, and it kind of stick to us. We didn't know if it's gonna really pick it up or not. I suppose after your words now, I know it's really good. A little bit about Evoke. Right now we're having about 35, 36 people working with us around the world.
Okay.
With modern technology, we are not limited to work just from inside Beijing. So we have people, CAD designers and product designers working from us from UK, Canada. We've got one or two people we're talking with right now in US for job applications. We've got people from Mexico working with us. So the company itself, I would say 75, 80% are all foreigners. So there's almost no Chinese staff over here. There's some marketing people that are with us, that are Chinese for local market. The founders, the head founder is Nathan Tsai. Then you have co-founder Chris Ritter, and I'm the third co-founder. And the rest are our people who came on to help out. And I believe daily we're getting some requests if somebody says, hey guys, I've seen what you're doing. I know you guys are a startup. I know you're having limited resources and other things. But you know what? I don't come here for money. I want to give you guys a hand. I want to, you know what? I can do social media amazing. I want to give it help you guys out on this.
Right.
We've got some people who are saying you know what? I love the designs. I think if we can improve this and this element and other things, we can make it better. How about I help you guys on some CAD stuff?
Right.
And this whole community support, it sounds a little bit small when you say the word community because people work from around the world. But it's a little world community in a small office in Beijing where we are now.
Okay. So where's actual assembly done, and sort of tell us a little bit about where you're at production wise.
Well, our assembly is done by Foxconn, the same company that assembles all iPhones, and it's done here in Beijing. They have the plant here, and our office is actually located inside the Foxconn's office as well for communication purposes. We like to be very close with our assemblers, so this way, when we work upstairs on our designs and our computer stuff. Downstairs, we can have a small R&D office where we can design and test. We can test all of the components which we build upstairs, and then at the same time, because we are so close with them, we can bring their engineers, we can bring their people into the office, and we can run quickly trainings on how to assemble, why these components have to be done in such a way, and they can give us as well quick advice. So the communication with the plant is very rapid. It's literally 2 minutes ride on Evoke from one end to another. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to. It's a pretty big plant. It's like 5,000 square meters.
Wow.
And that's just.
And so is that all they do is assemble the bikes there, or do they do iPhones and other things there then?
They have a number of different projects over here. Okay. They have all sorts of things that they're working with. Some of the stuff, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to say out because they have their own agreements and other things.
Right.
I believe Sharp is so at the office where we are, Sharp is over there.
Okay.
As well, and they do some assembly for Sharp and some other companies. I haven't visited the whole thing. It's really massive. It will take you a week.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.